to have them here with us.
Hey y'all. It's so sweet to be here and to see all your faces. Thank you, Shave, for the massage. I've been having these neck pains for several days, like waking up with neck pains. So I really appreciate getting started with that. I forgot to put this in my bio. Now I'm thinking it's really a good idea to mention this, is that I am a health supportive chef, and I also just started the Sacred Vibes apprenticeship with Karen Rose. So Karen Rose is someone I've looked up to for a long time and is now a more formal mentor of mine. So really through the studies of plant medicine, herbal medicine, I've sort of been making connections between food and medicine, even though I've been thinking about it for a long time. As I learn ways to make medicine, I'm like, wait, I'm just cooking. Like, it's the same thing. I'm just making food. So my hope is that I wanted to share some of the things that I've been reflecting on. And my hope is that y'all will be inspired some ways to maybe maybe it's just thinking about your food differently. Like as you chop up some onion, you'll be thinking about the medicinal properties of it, and allowing those healing vibes to go into your food. Or maybe it's actually making some vinegar infusions that you'll cook with in the future. So with that, I figured we could focus on just three really common foods. The three that I was thinking are onion and garlic and ginger, because those are in so many foods that so many different people have ate for many, many years, and that are the base of so many recipes. So I wanted to start actually with hearing from you all if there are any ways that you personally, or maybe you've in your community or in your family, folks have used onion, garlic, and or ginger medicinally. And you can go ahead and unmute yourself if there are ways, and we'll just kind of be thoughtful to not talk over each other, but feel free to jump in and share.
I can go. For ginger, I would say ginger tea. Ever since Abuela made ginger tea, like that's all you need. That's it. So that's how I feel about ginger.
Cool. Hi.
Hi.
Anyone else? Oh, well, actually, what's the ginger tea? Well, how does it help you, Adi?
Oh, like when you're sick, like when you're just not feeling well, when you just really need something that you know you can lean on and be confident in that decision, that's ginger tea. But fresh ginger, that's what we're talking about, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Mm-hmm. I mean, it can be fresh, it can be other forms also, but fresh ginger tea is great. Anybody else? Cool. I'll give you another 10 seconds. Feel inspired? Okay. So I'll share a little bit about how I've used some of these foods and then some things that I've been learning as well. So we can start with ginger, since that one came up. Ginger tea is really awesome, and it's a thing that I've also helped in addition with, like, if you're not feeling well, is also like indigestion. Like if you ate and the food just isn't like digesting well, a lot of folks will have like a ginger tea after a meal to sort of help that food really go down. Or like I remember this was in high school, I used to do musicals. And so I would be singing a lot, but I didn't actually, I don't know, people get trained on how to sing and not mess up their vocal cords. I didn't have that or know how to do that or still know how to do that. But my voice would get really, really harsh and really, really raw. So my mom would give me a chunk. She would actually cut up the ginger for me to take to school, and I would put it in my mouth like a cough drop. And then I would like chew it every once in a while, and the fresh ginger juice would get let out of the ginger and right into my like tonsils and my throat. So that's like another use. It's really strong. It's really like hot fire, but another like fun use. Also recently, ginger is really good for like circulation. Like, I don't know, recently I've been having like not good circulation in my fingers, or like, when I'm on my menses, like having cramps and stuff, I made like an oil with some ginger. I made an infused oil with some ginger in it, and I would put that on, and it helps just circulation kind of happen. So that's another use. Or like migraines, like putting some oil here to sort of just get the circulation going. So that's ginger. And I maybe at the, well, actually, does this remind anyone of any other uses? Sometimes I'll remember things like as people are talking. I'll sort of pause here to see if someone was reminded or inspired of a medicinal use. Cool. Okay. The next one is garlic. Garlic is, well, actually, what do you guys think garlic is good for? I'm sure some folks here know.
Blood
A
pressure?
little bit. What?
Blood pressure, maybe?
Yeah, totally. Like when you have high blood pressure, they say that garlic is really good to like bring it down for sure.
Antiviral.
Yeah. Antiviral, antimicrobial, antibiotic, antifungal also. Any other garlic thoughts? Those were kind of the ones I was thinking also. Like in terms of antifungal, my mom has like fungus that kind of is really persistent on her toes. So she puts like garlic oil or raw garlic on her toes and will kind of leave it on there for, I don't know, a while and then take it off. When I was in high school, another high school story, I had these like warts on my elbow that wouldn't go away. And my mom was like, I have a great idea. She looked it up on a book and she mashed up garlic and put it on my elbow. And it was, I mean, the warts went away and never came back, but I was like crying. I was like, Ma, I don't think I can keep this on anymore. Like it really, really, really hurts. She's like, just 2 more minutes, you know, like mom's like, just keep going. And it like, literally when I took it off, the warts were like white. Like it was almost like acid burned off. It's really strong, garlic and raw garlic, the medicinal, when you really want a lot of the medicine, raw is really good. So just an example of really how powerful that is. And like, I didn't have to go get any medication and it never came back. It wasn't like take a medication and then it comes back in a week or something. Garlic is also really good. Oh, have you all heard like fire cider, right? Like ginger, garlic, a lot of these things go into fire cider. So definitely like the immune support, the immune building, killing any like bacteria or viruses that you might have, like something really good to know now. If you're, I mean, there's so many fire cider recipes, but you could even like Google and think, you don't have to have all the ingredients, but just some of them and make it now so that, I don't know, we're opening up New York stage levels back to non-quarantine life. Maybe having some fire cider ready in your pantry could be really great. And like starting it now and having it ready in a few weeks would be awesome. And I think those were my, garlic is also really good for digestion. So like, if, I don't know if folks know what mofongo is. It's like fried green plantain, and then you put it in this cute little shape. And there's raw garlic in the mofongo. So if you even just think about like, look at maybe your ancestors or your elders' recipes and be like, wow, where did they add fresh ginger or fresh garlic in there? And how did they naturally know that this would help digestion? Like if I'm eating a fried plantain, adding some garlic will help balance it out. And then onion, do folks know what onion's good for? I think I saw someone talking, but you are on mute. Maybe you didn't think I'd see you. Cool, okay. Well, onion is, yeah. Someone sharing. Okay, well, maybe come back. I didn't hear you. But onion is really good for like cholesterol, like balancing your cholesterol levels and also like immunity support. I actually learned this, I think, from a Dominican person who said like for la gripe, which is like a flu, like blending some onion with honey, lemon. I think people have different versions of it, but like onion really being the base. So it blends and kind of becomes liquidy, and like drinking that to just like clear all of this up. Onion really brings stuff up and out. So if you have like phlegm, and you're just like kind of have one of those phlegmy flu sicknesses, like that onion juice, etc., honey, ginger, garlic, whatever you want to add, just really brings it kind of all out of your system. I haven't tried that personally, but I've heard a lot of people who do that. So I thought I would bring that up. And also onion in your, have you all heard of like putting onion in your hair, like onion juice in your hair? I've been having for actually a while. It's getting better, but I've been having like hair loss problems and just hair really like issues. So I've tried lots of things for hair. I'm going to show you some other hair things I've done, but I've heard like onion juice in your hair is really good to like strengthen and make your hair shiny. So with that, I guess I'll pause. Any, yes, mofongo recipe. Thank you. And fire cider. Beautiful. Yeah. Googling recipes is wonderful. There's so many things out there. And like making food medicine, like we don't have to be scared of it. We can just test things out and try it. Cool, so I'll pause there. Does anyone have any questions or inspirations that they want to share at this point?
I have a question about the difference between what onion can do when it's raw and when it's cooked. Because I guess I just wonder, it seems like maybe raw onions can have certain properties too, but I don't know what they are. But I was wondering if there's like a major difference.
Yeah, totally. That's a great question. In general, what I've been told is that the raw garlic, raw onion, raw ginger, all these things, when you really want to eat it for medicine, or use it for medicine, raw is best because the properties are amplified. In general, when you cook something, you're kind of like breaking down cell walls, or like fire just changes the chemicalness. I'm not a science person, so I can't answer exactly, but I do know that like cooking does change the makeup of anything. And I've been told that medicinally you want to use raw. Yeah, so that would be true for onion also.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anything else? Cool. So I wanted to share some things that I've been doing recently and that are really, can be really fun to just think about in your own kitchen. So as I was mentioning with hair, I've been doing a lot of hair stuff. So this is a, it's a tincture, but it's with a vinegar base. So I basically filled up this mason jar, if you can see it, with rosemary, like fresh rosemary that I got. And then I filled it up, and then I filled it all up with apple cider vinegar. And I've been letting this sit since like the end of May. So it's just about done, like 4 weeks is good. And then I can use this like after I shower. I'm gonna put it on, like just give myself a rinse. I'm also gonna give some to my sister because she's been having some like dermatitis on her scalp. So we're both going to use it for 2 different purposes, but it's been sitting here for 4 weeks and it's like ready to go. The other thing I could do with this is make a salad dressing. So if I wanted to make a salad dressing with olive oil, vinegar, honey, what do I have here? And like cumin powder, like whatever you wanted to do, instead of using like your basic apple cider vinegar, you could use an infused apple cider vinegar. So you could do this with rosemary, you could do it with oregano, like any fresh herbs. You could also do it with like seeds. If you've seen like the way that folks do canning, like food preservation, they often do it in vinegars. And then that vinegar takes up all the flavor and it takes up all the nutrients. So that could be like the base for a salad dressing too. So hair rinse, dermatitis medicine, salad dressing, all of the above. And then I wanted to show you all this oil infusion. So does anyone know what these are? These cuties? Take a guess. Thinking. It's like the loading circle on the internet. No guesses?
Marigolds? I don't know about flowers. That's just a guess.
Close. Not.
Calendula.
Dandelions.
Ooh, someone just said it with a C.
Dandelions.
Calendula?
Calendula. These are calendula
Um,
flowers. So I have these fresh ones. Also, shout out to like growing whatever you can on a windowsill. I have rue growing on my windowsill, and I have oregano brujo growing on my windowsill, and I just made a pesto with the oregano brujo. But these are calendula. I didn't actually grow these, but it would be awesome if I had. And then I basically put like dried calendula. So I'm gonna dry these flowers, and they're kind of gonna like shrivel up, and then I can put them into an oil. And I started this oil on 6/15, so I'm gonna let it go for a few more weeks. But then this oil is gonna have all the medicine from the calendula. So I could make a salad dressing from like calendula oil and rosemary vinegar and have like a delicious salad. And then here is, this is just rice that I'm gonna eat for dinner tonight. So when we jump off the call, I'm gonna cook some rice. But when I'm soaking it to sort of, before I cook it, soaking it sort of like softens the grains a little bit, like preps it for cooking and takes off that outside. Sometimes, you know, that white stuff that comes on rice, it sort of gets that off. But that water that you use to soak the rice can be used also on your hair. You can like put it on your hair and use it rather than like just dump it down the drain. So super common foods, always purposes and like ways to use it. And then I wanted to show y'all, this is a rosemary tincture that my friend made. So she made it with alcohol. She put like rosemary into alcohol. And I don't love the taste of alcohol. So what I've been doing is putting it into, I make like a lemonade. So I put lemon with some water, and then I put this tincture. So it's like a rosemary lemonade, which is so fun and exciting. And it's also like drinking my medicine. This one is for like, or does anyone know what rosemary is good for? Rosemary. It's really good for like brain, like memory and just like brain clarity. Like some folks will put a rosemary plant on their desk. Yeah, just really good for like brain fog, memory, concentration, everything like related to the mind. So I definitely need that and have been using it with the lemonade. Cool. So any like questions at this point?
What about what oils or things that you can make for like maybe like a foot soak or a hand and nail soak?
Ooh, like to like soften or
Yeah.
to soften?
Mm-hmm.
Like to soften the skin, right? Or to soften the nail?
Both.
Both. Okay. I would so right now I have oil infusing with calendula, and then I have one with comfrey, and then I have one with chamomile. So chamomile tea, yeah, you probably know, but like infusing the oil with chamomile, you just think of chamomile as being like so like calming, get you ready for sleep. It's like really soothing on the skin. So I'm infusing these oils, and then I'm going to combine them for my sister's dermatitis, like to really soften and like soothen her skin. So that might be one thing. I'm also a big fan of castor oil personally. I know it's not like a food, but I really like castor oil. What I do is I'll like put it on before bed, and then I'll put socks on my hands so that I don't get castor oil stickiness all over the sheets. And then my hands are really soft in the morning. So maybe like soaking your hand. You could also use, so the ones I mentioned, like calendula, comfrey, chamomile, you could also make like a tea with those. So you can make a tea and use that to soak your hands in rather than just soaking them in water. You could soak them with like all those things and then put like an oil on it and go to bed. That would be like my initial thought, but there's, I mean, probably
Okay.
a number of things. Have you tried things that have like worked for you, or have you heard of things?
Well, the castor oil, I love using the Jamaican castor oil already.
Yeah.
And I'll take a soak it water and soak like that. But I just, you know, like to hear about other things.
Yeah. I've been thinking about, I haven't done it yet, but I've been thinking about infusing a castor oil with some of these skin herbs. So like right now, this is coconut oil, but I've been thinking about doing this same thing, getting calendula flowers and putting it in castor oil and then putting it in the sun for 4 weeks and just trying that out.
Okay.
Because I do love castor oil, yeah. And if you can get that good stuff from the Caribbean, that's amazing. Cool. Any other yes to Chave? We got like 5 more minutes. Any other questions? In the last 5 minutes, I'll keep listening out for questions, but we can also use the time to make a little coffee scrub because it's really nice. Oh, this is also a good answer to your question around like skin softness. But I thought I could drink coffee and I actually can't because I can't handle caffeine. So I still had this coffee and I was reading that coffee scrubs are really good. So I actually don't think we can do this in 5 minutes, but I'll tell you what I would do. I would take like half a cup of this coffee. And you know coffee, it's ground, so it's like kind of a scrub. And then I took a 1/4 cup of brown sugar because brown sugar is also a really nice scrub. Just put it in a bowl. And then I think I added, how much did I add? I added a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. And this is actually, because it's so hot, this is already liquidy. And just mix that into the brown sugar and the coffee. And then I have this aloe plant in my apartment. So I basically, I guess I'll show you this part. This aloe plant, you will kind of want to use the jelly that's inside. So I would go ahead and like cut a slit in the leaf all the way to the top. And then like, if you can see it, all that like gelatinous, let me get out of the way. All that gelatinous goo, if you can see, kind of, sort of. I would just like scrape that out and add it into the scrub. And then like, I did it in like my whole body after a shower. My sister likes to do it after she does dishes, just like scrub her hands a little bit. And it like scrubs all the dead skin off. And then the coconut oil just leaves you feeling really, really moisturized. So it's just another example of like food as medicine on the outside. Cool. Any last question before we pass it on? Cool. Well, it's really sweet to see your faces. And I hope that the rest of this session is really nourishing and inspiring to each of you. Lots of love. Bye.
Thank you.